violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
The recognition of Juneteenth also necessarily involves the discussion of reparations.
KCAL 9's Rachel Kim spoke with an activist working to help make things right for past wrongs against Black families.
It's important that every year, Juneteenth, we do something to commemorate not just Juneteenth itself, but the movement to get Black land back, because that's when it started.
When Kavon Ward learned that the city of Manhattan Beach used eminent domain to take this beachfront property from Willa and Charles Bruce, a Black couple in the 1920s, she launched a movement on Juneteenth of 2020 to return what's now known as Bruce's Beach to the couple's descendants.
Their land was taken from them. They were forced out of the neighborhood, the community they helped build, because of racism.
Ward formed the Justice for Bruce's Beach organization. Their efforts ultimately resulted in Governor Gavin Newsom signing a law that transfers ownership of the property back to the family.
And, you know, I'm all for righting the wrongs in history. Okay. But what we are doing with this Juneteenth holiday is despicable, guys. And I'm going to show you. There's so much that has gone on during Juneteenth weekend in the community, and it doesn't make sense. And I'm trying to do all the videos that I can. I just recorded 3 videos before this one. And we're really going to break this down. Like I said, I'm not wrong. I'm not against wronging the rights or righting the wrongs done in history. Obviously, I don't rock with Gavin Newsom. It's obviously a virtue signal, him doing this. But, you know, it's like they're not even focusing on the issues that plague us today.
Newsom and local officials said this move granted them the wealth they've been denied for generations.
This is something that's happened across this country, not just in Manhattan Beach.
After her advocacy work for Bruce's Beach, Ward founded another group called Where Is My Land? Its goal is to return land taken from Black families and get restitution. And she says so far, nearly 400 families have reached out to their organization.
In most cases, there aren't any viable legal claims because the statute of limitation has passed. And so with them, we realize that we need to fight this in the court of public opinion more than anything so that we can get policies changed to get justice for these families.
Ward tells us they've encountered many challenges and pushback.
That was in the past. It's not fair to take land back. The people who own it now didn't take the land. And we understand that in certain situations. In some cases, our families don't want to take land back. They just want to be paid fair market value because they understand it's not fair to have done to those people what was done to them. We ask for reparations.
And you know what? I am not mad at this sister. Like the way that she is presenting it, it sounds like she's very educated on the subject. It sounds like that she knows exactly what she's talking about, asking for fair market value, asking for compensation. I don't have any problem with getting compensation for wrongs done in the past. I really don't, okay? My thing is, I do not like the excuses that are being made for the violence and the murder that continues in the community.
We ask for land restoration. We ask for reparative justice. That's what we want.
In Manhattan Beach, Rachel Kim, KCAL 9 News.
Detroit's big news now from Detroit's east side. Police have one person in custody after a shooting left a man in critical condition. This happened this evening in the area of Gunston and Corbett Street. Our crew spotted a white SUV on scene with damage from a shooting. Stay with Fox 2 for updates on this one.
What happened?
I'm not sure what happened here today, Charlie.
Here is Outer Drive near Myers on the west side. Police find a man slumped over the wheel of his car, shot dead, right in front of his house.
This is very weird.
She's right, because 55-year-old Karl Lockridge, known to many as Lock, didn't seem to bother anybody.
He was nice to everybody. He didn't do anything to nobody. I don't know what happened,
I love him to death. He got a very big family. We're all out here.
Detroit police say that at 6:30 Thursday morning, Locke was pulling out of his driveway when a homeowner heard shots and then saw Locke's Mercedes in the middle of Outer Drive.
My cousin was on his way to work at 6:30 this morning, and as he was bagging out the driveway, someone shot him in the head.
Can't think of anybody that would have wanted to do this to him, can you?
I couldn't. It's unbelievable.
Locke was a longtime employee for the Wayne County Road Commission, and as the morning went on, more family and more friends gathered in front of his home.
They need to go under deep investigation here.
It appears Karl's son, with the same name, was charged with shooting 2 people in Lansing in November 2021.
Wow. So, I mean, this kind of debunks the, fathers in the house is going to change the situation, right? You have a hard-working brother, worked for the road commission, then went on to work for the city. 7 years away from getting his pension. And his son is out here being charged for murders, clapping people, whatnot. And I'm just going to tell you right now, you could have the best upbringing, but you are never going to be able to change these super gremlins on demon time.
That Karl is in custody.
He got a few problems with his family and stuff like that, but I mean, I'm not going all the way and saying that somebody in his family has something to do with it, but the man didn't bother nobody.
Detroit police are not confirming that the 2 incidents are connected. There are no suspects in this incident at this time. On Detroit's west side, Charlie Langton, Fox 2 News.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Frederick Douglass, where a shooting just took place. And as you can see, it's a pretty rough area. So I'm basically risking my life reporting on this madness. So make sure you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Like the video, hell, share the video. And make sure you go ahead and leave a comment down in the comments section to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this son violence in the streets. I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
Well, he was in his driveway about to head to work, and that's when someone shot and killed 55-year-old Karl Lockridge. The fatal shooting happened this morning on West Outer Drive and Myers Road on the west side. Detroit police now working to find answers. 7 Action News reporter Kim Russell spoke to people who knew and loved the man described as a public servant.
As I spoke to family and friends gathered outside the home, a little girl spoke up. She said she wanted me to tell you that the man who died was a really good grandpa.
Here we go again. The super gremlins taking out the OGs, taking out the elders of the community. So when we talk about, well, the older people, they need to take control and they need to, make sure that these kids ain't out here and they need to police their own and all that kind of stuff. Look, these super gremlins do not respect elders, so much so that they are willing to take their lives.
And he always made her feel loved. This was the scene this morning on Outer Drive near Myers after a shooting that Detroit police say happened around 6:30 this morning. Someone shot a man in his own car in his driveway. The car then backed onto the median. People who know him say the victim is 55-year-old Karl Lockridge.
Right now, I'm just very upset and sad that they took his life because he was a good person. And he was well loved. He was a good man. He took care of his family, his kids, and he took care of his wife.
Laretha Wood says she and Karl have an adult son together. She says they remained friends through the years, and she spoke to him yesterday. He had talked about an argument he had with someone, but she says he wasn't the type to make trouble. He worked and cared for family.
He retired from Wayne County Roads, and then he went on to just work for the city because he was, too young to, get his pension.
Police this afternoon responded to his house to break up arguments between loved ones. Emotions are high as police search for answers as to what happened.
I just hope they find the person that did this to him, because he didn't deserve it. No. He didn't deserve it.
Detroit police tell me at this point in time they don't have any suspects in custody. If you have information that could help in this investigation, they're asking you to give them a call. In Detroit, Kim Russell, 7 Action News.
Fox News' Camille Mary joins us live. And Camille, what tipped police off?
Well, U.S. Marshals got the tip. Of course, they're not telling us how they got the tip, but they tipped off DPD around 9 o'clock this morning, and that everything went down around 1:30. Take a look.
He's accused of killing his own father in Georgia. Brandon Williams-Griffin arrested in Detroit Friday afternoon at a tow yard on the city's east side.
We were staged. We had officers inside as well as on the outside.
Williams-Griffin, who investigators say has ties to Detroit, was in Georgia for his father's birthday party last week. Police say a verbal altercation turned deadly when the son shot and killed his father on June 10th. It happened in Clayton County, about 30 miles outside of Atlanta. Fast forward 1 week. Law enforcement officers learn the suspect is planning to go to 7D's Towing on Nevada near Mound to buy a car.
We developed a plan to have officers on site when he did arrive so we could encounter him and take him into custody.
And that's exactly what happened.
As this individual was approaching the vehicle that he was attempting to purchase, our officers observed him there, made approach, and directed him to place his hands in the air.
Wow, so this man killed his own daddy right before Father's Day. Happy Juneteenth, happy Father's Day.
At which point he complied.
It was around 1:30 Friday afternoon. Antoinette Bailey and her kids were on their way home from her youngest child's kindergarten graduation. They live not far from the tow yard.
And we seen the SWAT team and the police and all of that coming from the 12th precinct. They kind of cut the traffic off, so we had to stop, and they went to the 7D towing, but we didn't know what was going on.
Now that she knows a murder suspect who is considered armed and dangerous was apprehended so close to her home.
It's a little scary. It's a little scary to know that he was that close and we didn't even know.
Everyone thankful things ended the way they did.
He did have a firearm on his person, but fortunately he did not go for it.
Now, the suspect is being held in Detroit behind bars. Of course, police right now in the process of extraditing him, doing all that paperwork to get him back to Clayton County, Georgia, to face charges, a number of charges he's facing. And of course, everyone just happy this ended very peacefully. Reporting live, Camille Mary, Fox 2 News.
Yeah, Camille, you heard that mom say, goodness, it was so close to my kids, so close to me. Thank goodness it didn't get out of hand. But this was all part of the plan. I mean, it looked like Detroit police said, hey, we know where to be when this guy shows up.
Yeah, and you know, it was interesting because we went to the tow yard. They didn't want to talk to us on camera. They confirmed that it happened there. But, you know, there's cameras everywhere. And the mother of the woman we talked to pointed out that there is a detention center right across the way from the tow yard. She actually pointed it out to us, the tower. So clearly this guy wasn't thinking. You know, he made an appointment to go see this car. So not the smartest criminal, but.
Yeah, and he was thinking. That's just how his brain works. This is what you have to understand. That's just how his brain works, okay? These super retarded gremlins are on demon time.
Appointment to go see this car. So not the smartest criminal, but good that he's behind bars.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.